Can't be bought or sold. Why do they hide the ball? The lies which are spoken and stories told will be their downfall. On the road, traveling for truth, a journey unknown. From ocean sides to the center lines, we'll find the answers never shown. Never shown. flowers bloom, truth shall be freed. A journey unknown, from ocean sides to the center lines, we'll find the answers never The devil's advocates whisper in the hall, where justice wears a mask and truth begins to fall. Every thread they pull, every lie they weave, in the courtroom's dance, who's left to believe? Oh, the devil's in the details, hiding in plain sight, innocent until the gavel steals the light. Crime echoes through the hollow night, fighting injustice with no end. The devil's in the details, hiding in plain sight, innocent until the gavel steals the light. True crime echoes through the hollow night, fighting injustice with no end in sight. A photograph fades where the truth once stood, blurred lines between the bad and the good. The scales they tilt with every silver tongue, while the broken cry for a song unsung. Black robes sway like shadows on the wall, one wrong word and the mighty fall. Who's a sinner? Who's a saint? The jury's out, but the verdict's faint. Oh, the devil's in the details, hiding in plain sight, innocent until the gavel steals the light. True crime echoes through the hollow night, fighting injustice with no end. The devil's in the details, hiding in plain sight, innocent until the gavel steals the light. True crime echoes through the hollow night, fighting injustice with no end in sight.
All right. Welcome to another Crimes After Dark. And I am excited to be here. I love that music. It looks like a lot of you love that music as well. Sorry it was a little long tonight. We had some debate on whether or not we could squeeze in that 7-minute song followed by our sizzle reel, but it looked like it turned out okay. And I get jazzed up. It gets me on fire and excited for the evening. I hope you're excited for the evening. We've got most of our panel kind of assembled. We've got a couple people missing. We always have JJ missing on this day now. He's got commitments during this time of year. He may be increasing his appearance on the show pretty soon. We're missing Logan from Bronx Tales tonight, unfortunately. We do have Dago from True Crime Cafe backstage, and we've got Robin. We will have one, but he's a little late, and so therefore Robin is prepared to read the monologue that one had prepared, just in case. And more than likely, he's not going to make it for the intro, but we do expect him to join us at some point during the show. Thank you all for your hardcore supporters out there. I know a lot of you get jazzed up for the music and the time. It's so hilarious to me how many of you say your animals watch our show. I think we probably have a better following with animals. If only animals could click on the like, fucking share, and subscribe buttons, we'd be fucking set as a channel. Because your animals, your pets, whether they're dogs or they're cats, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria. That's what happens when your animals watch our show. That's a line from Ghostbusters if you're not old enough to remember that line. But anyways, thanks for joining us. I'm going to get my panel on stage right away. We'll kick this thing off and we'll see how it goes. We got no real script for tonight. That's often the way that it works. Stan loves watching me. That must be a dog or a cat or an animal, because that's the way it goes. I think animals love me more than humans do, but that's okay. I think I love animals more than I love humans anyway, so it's a mutual thing. All right, let's get Robin on. Robin, how are you doing tonight?
Well, hello. I'm doing
Hey,
well. How about you, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, hanging in there and all that. So it's
Yeah.
great to be on again with everyone. Nice to see all the peeps out there. I'm watching the chat, all the loving the music and having fun hanging out, greeting each other. So it's great to have all you with us. I love seeing all the like you're saying, the hardcore people that are always with us almost every night. So it's
One of
it's
the things,
great.
yeah, I was gonna say, one of the things we have, Robin, is we have a really, really solid base. Like our
We
our
do.
our true fans are like uber fans of the show. They love it, and they're diehards, right? So we've got a
Yeah,
base to die for that people envy, but we're not quite reaching out into the larger sphere. But man, we've got a really
we
solid
will.
base of fans.
We
I
do.
hate saying fans because it sounds like you're some kind of rock star, which I did want to be a rock star when I was younger. But anyway, the point being is that
Our
we do have a solid
friends.
base, and it's nice.
Yes, yes, and
So anything
I
special
will
you like
encourage
today?
everyone to hit the like
Yeah.
and subscribe to the channel. Please share this out, even just to one other person. Put it on your Facebook. I don't know. I don't think people know that we are on Facebook, by the way. We have a
Yeah.
group as well as our page. So, and we're trying to ramp those up for people who don't really particularly care for Discord. So we do have those available. So I don't know, Amanda, if you can throw out the link for our Facebook group, that'd be great. We have almost 300 people in that group. So remember, you can always, the same with Discord, talk 24/7, true crime. We have all kinds of different categories on Discord for everything from prayer requests to jokes to cooking to yard work. I mean, so
Yeah.
so
And
we do talk other things besides true crime. So it really is an awesome community. So please check us out on those locations as well. So
yeah, and it's funny because I mean, I want to say something about that a minute now that you mention it, Robin. Like we've got, and it's small compared. I get it, we're small compared to other people, but why does that feel like insulting to say we're small compared to other people? Anyways, the point being is that TikTok, we've got like 10,000 subscribers on TikTok. We do have a presence
mhm.
on Facebook. Part of the thing is that my day is so busy with research and putting the show together, whatever, that I've been kind of neglecting those other social media platforms. But I really want to get into cross-platforming wherever people are at. So in the community,
Right.
if you have a preference for one of those, like you'd rather see things on Facebook and know what's going on, please let us know where to invest our time and energy, because it's one of those kind of 80-20 things. I need to find out where 20% of my time can go that gets the 80% reward or whatever the hell it is. Like, tell me where I should be spending my time. If you'd like to see me in your favorite platform somewhere, please let me know so that I can help meet you
Yeah.
where you're at and meet ourselves. So I know Robin wants me
Yeah.
to do it all, but I can't fucking do it all. Like I only have so much energy, but I'm trying really hard.
Well, I'm just a you know taskmaster that way.
You're
Or
a
not.
whip.
No,
You're
I
a whip.
realize you're only one
Exactly.
person.
Yeah, I think you probably should have been a dominatrix in your former life or something like that, because you probably just cracked
Oh,
that whip and yeah, oh, see, like, oh, well, that sounds good. Yeah.
I
So
did order a
apparently
whip last week. No, I'm just kidding.
you and my wife need to talk, I think. So anyway, so it's good to have you on the show. Thank you for sharing your day with us. Let's get Dago
Oh yeah.
on. And look at Dago's embarrassed. He's even like, what the fuck's happening? Like, what is going on, Dago? Can you not handle this? Oh, you're muted. You're muted.
Whoa.
Good to
Forget
see you,
about
sir.
it. Please forget about it.
Please forget about it.
Yeah.
For the love of God, forget about it.
Good evening, everybody. Good to see you all this evening, Mr.
Oh,
Lee.
extraterrestrial high
And
school use. Okay, yeah.
hello, Mom, to you, Miss Robin. Good to see you.
Hello.
Always
Hello.
happy
Cheerio.
to see you. Yes. And good evening, everybody. It is here. Thank you so much, all of you, to the moderators and all you beautiful people for joining us. You guys are amazing. Thank you.
God, I wish that we could play other people's music because I would play the beautiful people as an intro.
I found
I
the
love
one
that
that I
shit.
can use because
Yeah?
I say it so much. It's not by Manson, but it's just the background music used, so I don't get struck for it. So I have to put
Do
it
you
back
know?
in my soundboard.
Do you know who produced that Marilyn Manson album with the beautiful people on it? The Antichrist Superstar album. Do you know who produced it?
No.
Trent Reznor from Nine Inch Nails.
Oh, surprise!
Yeah, and it very much has a Nine Inch Nails kind of influence. But
I met him. At.
you met Trent Reznor?
I met
Wow.
Trent. He's from Ohio, and he
Oh,
lives in
wow.
Ohio. I met him at Borders Bookstore in Niles, Ohio. And I knew who he was, and I kept staring at him. He was standing over in the uh comic section at the point that I saw him.
That's
And
hilarious.
yeah, I walked over past him like 3 times, and I'm going, being a big music fan, I'm like, there's no way. And I knew he was from this area. I didn't know exactly where. And I walked by and I turned and looked at him for the 4th time, and he leaned down and he pulled his sunglasses off and he smiled at me and he went, "Uh-huh." And I went,
No, that's
You-
so awesome.
just like that. And he went, "Uh-huh." And I was like, dude.
Dude,
I
okay, this is not a children's show. Let me warn this right now. But how does the guy who sings a song "I want to fuck you like an animal" sit in the comic book section?
dude, he was all over the place. He was looking at like romance
Dude.
novels and this and that and in everything. And I'm
Dude,
like,
that's amazing.
and
That's amazing.
this man creates his music all by himself. And then when he goes out on tour, he puts a band together. Everything he does it all on his own when he produces his albums, all of his drumming, which
Wow.
we all know is a lot of technical stuff. But anyway, it was like, wow, dude, I talked to him for a matter of like 5 or 6 minutes, and I'm like, what are you doing here? He's like, I read too. I said, I'm sure
Yeah.
you do. He's very
Yeah.
smart from what I understand, because I read a whole thing on him years ago.
Well, he's a freak. I mean, I didn't. So to be fair, I know we're going long-winded, and Robin has a monologue to get for us. But to be fair, like I didn't listen to a lot of Nine Inch Nails, but I certainly got hooked on that album. That album kicked ass, and he's a freaking amazing musician. Like no matter what you say about that guy, he's got a talent for knowing how to do a hook. He's amazing.
Him and another one a lot like him was Al Jorgensen from Ministry.
Yeah.
Another basically a techno metal same type thing. They did all of their music until they go out on tour, and then they put a band together, and here we are. So
yeah,
both. I love it. But seeing him was like the highlight of my life, because he was one of my influences. How he did everything, especially after I read his documentary. I know I'm being long-winded. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get it out. And just seeing him there, and it was just a real quick back and forth, and he's like, I said, well, it's wonderful to see you here. I said, it's fucking awesome to see you here is what I said. But
yeah,
and he was like, yeah, I love this store and so on and so forth. And I didn't even say anything about his music or anything. And he just looked and said, thanks for being a fan. And I put his glasses back up and turned, and I was like, no problem. And I didn't say I was a fan. But
damn it, man, that is so cool. That is so. And Just a Devil Woman, by the way, was saying she likes these smaller groups. When you get to thousands, it's just you're talking to yourself. Here's what sucks. I love the small community, but of course, to do this as a living, you can't have a super small community forever. So how do you? We're like always working that. How do we keep that intimate family feel and still grow at the same time? It's a super challenge. But I'm glad that I'm glad you like the smaller intimate gathering. Yeah. That's so cool about that Trent Reznor story. Thank you for sharing that.
It's a highlight of one of my highlights. Love it, and him too.
Yeah. Yeah, he seems like a super cool dude. All right, Robin, you do have a monologue. I delayed as long as I could
Yes.
in case one might join us, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Would you like to?
No.
Now, do you want to stay where you're at, or you want to go full screen like I do with, or do you care one way or another?
No, I'm good at here in the corner. That's fine.
Oh,
No, no
Nobody
problem.
puts baby in the corner. All right, so
Yeah.
go ahead and do your monologue from the corner.
Okay, so I forgot this last time, but is it good to be alive in the den on a Thursday
Yeah.
night?
Always.
All right.
I'm not used to being on camera while you're doing the monologue. Fuck, this is so weird. Like usually I'm
Be
drinking
full screen
and
then, so I don't
I'm
mess with your
relaxing.
mojo.
I'm doing a slow stroke, whatever the hell. I'm off camera. Why am I on camera while you're doing the monologue? All right, let's go for it.
Oh, sorry.
Oh my goodness. Jackson, Juliana, you are the apples of your daddy's eye. And
love
Mrs. 1-1, you know how much he adores you.
I love that.
Yes.
There's a point late at night when everything goes quiet and the story starts to fall apart. Not all at once, not loud, just little things. A timestamp that doesn't sit right, a gap no one explains, a detail that should matter but somehow doesn't. That's where we are. This isn't the version of events people repeat during the day. This is what's left when you start pulling at it. Because if you've really looked, you've seen it. In the Idaho 4 case, where the timeline feels complete until you slow it down and realize how much of it you're being asked to accept. In the Delphi case, where Richard Allen sits at the center, and people still ask, was that the truth or just the answer that finally stuck? This is where things shift, where evidence stops feeling solid and starts feeling arranged, where confidence turns into questions, where official doesn't always mean correct. Welcome to Devil's Advocates. We don't raise our voices here. We don't chase headlines. We take what's been handed to the public and we sit with it long enough to see what doesn't hold. And around this table, Boss Lee, watching, calculating, waiting. JJ, state of the deep, already 3 layers below the surface. Robin, queen on the scene, seeing what others walk past. 1-1, king of the cliffs, every second accounted for. Dago, True Crime Cafe, asking the question that shifts everything. Logan, Bronx Tales True Crime, connecting what shouldn't connect, but does. No noise, no performance, just pressure. Because the truth doesn't break all at once. It fractures quietly, piece by piece. And by the time you notice it, you're already standing in the middle of something that doesn't make sense anymore. So the only question left is, are you listening to what happened or to what you're being told happened? This is Devil's Advocates. And with that, live from Pennsylvania.
You know, it still has a ring, but it's not quite the same ring as live from New
It's
York.
not. It's not. But hey,
it's not bad. Yeah, and gosh darn it, if I don't find my footage from Times Square, I've got great. I was in Times Square. I actually purposely sat in Times Square with a 4K camera recording time-lapse footage of the sun going down and the lights coming up and all the people walking. And I was like, this is going to be great when I set it to video. And now I can't find my fucking video. Like, if I don't find it, I'm going to cut off my left testicle and I'm going to mail it to Dago. I just wanted to, there you go. So he just went off screen.
Turn his camera off on that.
He's very excited right now. So somebody asked, by the way, in the chat if my camera's still off.
Your
So
camera's
they're like,
still
your
off.
camera's
Lee.
off. Do you need to see my face? Holy
Yes.
shit. There it is. There's my face. Holy shit. Look, so somebody had asked in here if we're going to talk about the Kevin C. I think it was.
No,
Was it
I
Kevin
didn't.
C?
I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it yet either, but I believe it has to do with the allegations that maybe Ethan had gotten into some kind of fight at Sigma Chi that night, and that it spilled over to the 1122 King Roadhouse. So while I haven't seen the interview, do we want to discuss a little bit the possibility that a fight spillover? We haven't talked about that as a group, or whether we think that's a possible motive in the murders, or whether a fight spillover went to quadruple homicide and all the things that went along with it.
I planned on reviewing it tomorrow. I believe that was one of my theories I talked about on my show once. That did somebody follow them home? Xana and Ethan was one of my theories.
Yeah.
Continuing on, there was proof that there was a fight. It was verified through Xana's mother. It was verified through Xana's father, her sister, and other people. The amazing thing about this thing, and this has been my question, you guys, is why is it that in every interview we've watched, I've said this on my show many times, every time they've interviewed somebody, they're all kids that go to this school. They're all people that are friends within this circle. Why is it that they ask the same question to everyone in every interview? Did anything strange happen that night that you can remember? Did you remember anything weird going on? Not one damn time does anybody bring up a fight.
No.
Right. And if there was a fight, which it seems like there was a fight, why is everybody being quiet about the fight? Because again, if there was a fight, and it seems like there was, and yet people are not bringing up the fight, it almost tells you the fight is the thing they're trying to cover up, because they're trying not to talk about it. Right.
At least part of it. Yeah.
Now,
then it leads.
There is only one who did mention it. Dang. I want to say it was shoot. But she kind of like downplayed it, like, oh yeah, there was kind of like this mouth battle kind of thing, but nothing overly, other than that, it wasn't a big deal. But there's been so many rumors about the fact that there was a fight that night. And like you're saying, it's suspicious that they've been quiet about it. It's possible. Stranger things have happened.
I want to run through a scenario for Fizzy Cake and for all of you. I want to run through a scenario because look, I don't talk about these a lot because I have other theories that I feel like are more solid, but let's play with this for a minute. Roid rage is real. So yes, there's indication that people could have been, taking steroids, and that could have led to a roid rage type of thing. There's an indication, there's a strong argument to be made. If a fight happened at Sigma Chi, and again, remember the Banfield guys, they're running back from the 1122 King Road residence house back to Sigma Chi when they get stopped by cops. And it was supposed to be some kind of alcohol thing. But did they just do something at 1122 King because of some fight that happened just hours earlier at the Sigma Chi fraternity? And you have to ask yourself if that's possible. And if that's the case, did somebody come in and attack Ethan specifically? And Xana is the voice we hear screaming at 2-something in the morning when she sees that someone attacked her boyfriend or whatever. Did that happen? Did she then get attacked at the same time? Did Kaylee walk in on that and was on the second floor momentarily, and she got stabbed and she ran up the stairs and they chased her up the stairs or something? Like all of the things could make sense about the rumors that Kaylee was actually on the second floor at some point, that her blood was on the second floor, but we're supposed to believe that she was asleep in her bed with Maddie on the third floor. Well, then how do you explain her blood on the second floor? Unless you think that it transferred from the top floor to the second floor. But what if it all started on the second floor? And what if that's the answer to Steve Gonzalez's, he didn't have to go up the stairs. He didn't have to go up the stairs. Why? Because the attack was on Ethan, and it wasn't even about anybody else. But roid rage maybe took over, and Ethan became Xana, which became Kaylee because she walked in on it, became Maddie because Kaylee went up the stairs. Like, could that have all just been something started from a fight that just went out of fucking control? And does that answer why Steve says he didn't have to go up the stairs? It wasn't even about Kaylee. It was about somebody else. Like, is that possible?
Absolutely. And to your point about, there's blood on the beer pong table, and we know that. So
Kaylee,
there are only two ways that it's going to Kaylee, I'm sorry. It's going to get there. Either she was attacked on the second floor, or the killer transferred it there. So
and look, Robin, look, Dylan initially told a police officer that she said Kaylee was going to be on the second floor.
Right.
She said that.
Right.
And think about it. If Dylan knew Kaylee had been on the second floor when the fight all happened and when the killings were happening, she probably did think Kaylee was on the second floor. She maybe didn't know that either Kaylee ran up the stairs after being attacked and kind of survived the first stab and ran up the stairs and was finished, which I don't necessarily believe because I think there would be more of a blood trail up the stairs, or she died on the second floor and they carried her up. That's one of the theories people have, is that she was carried up and placed in the bed on top of the mattress. I don't know. The problem I have with that is the lack of DNA evidence they said that belongs to Kaylee on the second floor. Her blood should be all over the second floor, not just on the ping pong table. So I haven't reconciled that entirely. But
well, how do we know really that they didn't find it? I mean, right now we don't. Shit's been renumbered. I mean, it's just been crazy the amount. I mean, there are sometimes I really question like the documents, but the problem is that's all we've got to go on at this point, really, outside of some of these interviews and things like that. But real
quick, Dago's one's backstage, and I want to bring him up. But real quick, here's the thing I want to say. Talking about you mentioned the renumbering, and I guess I'm on fire tonight. What the fuck? I'm on fire tonight. Look, talk about the renumbering. Brett Payne finds the knife sheath 4 hours after everybody had been walking all over that crime scene. Nobody else identified the knife sheath. Brett Payne comes in 4 hours later and says, "Hey, everybody, did you see this fucking knife sheath?" That was suspicious in the first place. And then you've got, go ahead, Robin. You got a thought on your head. I can see it.
Well, and then it's not even that it just suddenly appears there. It's how it's placed. Let's not forget that this thing is placed, across the bed, essentially, not like up and down or it's just like stuck under Maddie's leg, kind of. It's Robin, not even.
Look, Robin, you're nailing it. That knife sheath wasn't hard to see.
No.
Think about this. The photo they took, that knife sheath's not hard to see. So you tell me how 4 hours of officers walking through the scene didn't see it if it was that fucking easy to see. It leads to a big, gigantic what the fuck question in this case.
It defies logic to me.
Right? It defies logic. Anyways, let's get 1-1 up here. I just wanted to kind of get that out of the way before we got up. It's so good. 1-1. Hey, how you doing tonight?
Yay!
Hello, good job, Robin. I heard your monologue.
She did you justice, right?
Yes, it did a great job.
I love how Robin does that. You are the apple in Daddy's eye.
Good job.
Good shit.
Well, thank you.
So I hopped in as you guys were talking about the knife sheath there. What I would say, I know we'll never get to see it because of the stupid redaction and and that nonsense. However, what would put to bed it would that this knife sheath is planted or not planted would be would someone verifying, we're not going to get to see it. I understand because the bodies are right there. But if there is someone, I don't know how it could be done that would be trustworthy enough that people would actually believe, that would be able to see the unredacted body cameras. And so my basic point is that the officers are responding, right? They're in Kaylee's room. Maddie's room. They're in Xana's room. So the officers who respond and they're in, Maddie's room there, you should see the knife sheath on their body camera. We can't see it because it's redacted. I understand that.
No.
But it should be there. That would put to bed. Oh, it's planted or it's not,
Right. You got a great point. It would put to bed, but we're never going to fucking see it because of Olivia Gonzalez and her statement of not being able to see victims' bodies. By the way, before I get too far, I do want to make a weird announcement to the Gonzalez family. They are featured speakers at CrimeCon. So they have been added to the feature speakers at CrimeCon. Specifically, they're going to talk about us in a way. Now, I mean us as in the YouTube community. Maybe me specifically. I hope fuck not, but I'm going to be there, right? I'm going to be there. I'm going to wear my jersey and my shit proudly. But they're specifically going to talk about, quote, armchair detectives who shame the victims and say horrible things about the victims on camera. So I'm certain they're going to include me in the armchair detective who's sitting here trying to figure the case out, and we're disgusting, despicable human beings. How awkward is it that I'm going to be at CrimeCon with Christy and Steve as their center stage and walking around the floor, bumping elbows with them? It's weird. I hear that Phoenix is going to be there as well from her channel, is going to be there and handing out flyers. It's going to be a weird thing. I just wanted to bring that out. Here's what I want to say about that. I want to say this just briefly. For the Gonzalez family, if you happen to be, by the way, I know I've been told they are watching my channel. They see my channel. So for the Gonzalez family, if you happen to get this message, like, I have no intention of coming up and interrupting you or talking to you or trying to talk to you face to face. I'm not that kind of guy. So hopefully it is going to be a peaceful situation. Because I understand the families are grieving. I want to say this before we go back to our conversation. I understand the families are grieving. I understand that they need to say whatever they're going to say, kind of thing. And I want to give them the grace to do that. I'm trying, in my opinion, and I know they won't see it the same way, I want the same thing they do. I just want to know what happened. That's all I want. And in the end of the day, we're on the same page. They won't see it that way, but we're on the same fucking page.
No, they don't. No. And that's it. I'll be honest and truthful with you guys. It bothers me a little bit because I try to put myself in their shoes, as nobody can. Okay, nobody can. Right. Nobody can do that unless you've been through what they've been through, and hopefully people don't have to go through that. That's probably the most horrible thing you can ever imagine going through in your life. I've tried to put myself in their shoes to understand why they see us the way they do, knowing what I know about myself and why I'm here and why I cover this case. Because it's because I want them to know the truth. I want them to get justice for the loss of their child, and I want them to have some kind of
closure.
There's never going to be closure. We know that, but something of
Dago.
I don't even know how to explain what it is, but that.
Dago, I want to ask, I apologize to the other panelists, but I want to hit on what you're saying. This is what bothers me. Steve Gonzalez himself didn't buy the official story. He hired a private investigator, and he said, I'm not going to just fucking sit around and let you guys tell me what happened. I'm going to hire a private investigator. I'm going to find out. He questioned them on why they ruled out certain suspects so early. So at the end of the day, I have to, and again, I kind of sympathize with Steve Gonzalez. I'm not a father, but if I had been a father, I can see myself doing a lot of the same shit he did. Fuck you guys. You're not going to just make me sit here and do nothing while you tell me what happened. I'm going to find out what happened myself. I understand that. I would have done the same thing. Yeah. So it bothers me that he goes around shaming people for doing what he did, which is like, I don't buy the official story. I'm going to fucking hire a private investigator and find it myself. And so great for him and the Gonzalez family if they feel like they've gotten the answer that they need. I still don't have that answer. I don't have that answer. So they may be at peace, but I'm not at peace.
And it's interesting. It's interesting because I had this conversation with Lee off live, and my question to him was, it probably won't happen, but even if they're listening, of course, they're gonna see it and they're gonna say, they kind of group everyone together. Oh, you guys are just trying to make money on the death of my child, which is disgusting or whatever. And I see how they're looking at it, and I get it. It's very tough. However, I would love, before they start going, crazy and say, oh, you guys are just clickbait or whatever. Because I know how Lee is, and even if they attack him, even if they said, he's very respectful kind of guy. I would love that they would at least kind of give, like, maybe at least let him ask a question, or at least, like, say to at least like
listen
a question
to our
or two.
side of it. Listen to our side.
But not even to give a whole interview. Just like if they're like just attacking everyone in the room about the clickbaiter YouTube people, at least let Lee actually say, I'm actually on your side. He's on.
Right.
We're all on your side. We just want the truth. We're not
want
against
the answers.
you.
I still to this day don't think. I really, honestly, still to this day, don't think Steve Gonzalez think Brian Koberger did it alone. I still don't think that. I still think he knows there's other people out there. And so, yeah, like you said, the biggest thing I'd want, and I'm not looking, I don't care about getting Steve Gonzalez on my show to talk to me. I just wish at the end of the day, they'd let me have the courtesy of, in privacy, having a one-on-one conversation with them and say, look, I'm not fucking against you and your family. I'm not. I want the same thing you do, which is justice and understanding what happened. I just convince me you got the right guy. You tell me what I missed. That's what I would like to have, that honest conversation.
Word for word. Absolutely. It doesn't have to be on here. I've said the same thing.
No.
My panel's always been open to anybody that wants to join us, but I've said the same thing. It doesn't have to be on here because I want you to understand why I'm here. It's not to make money because God knows I don't make any fucking money. None of us do.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
No.
Yeah, so let's stop,
Nobody
let's
in
stop
this
that
level.
bullshit. Let's stop that
we don't.
bullshit that we're all fucking rolling in money on this shit. Like,
And that's
not
the
rolling
thing
in
too,
money.
is if you're gonna say that though, you're gonna say that we're making money out the backs of the death of your child. That's horrible to me to think about. But it's why is it okay for Nancy Grace to do it? Why is it okay for Ashley Banfield to do it and Ryan Enton and News Nation and NBC, ABC, CBS, and anybody else that does it, and they don't even do it with
because
the aspect of truth behind it? That's the problem.
Right. They are the ones making money on
Millions.
this, and
It's funny that you said that, Robin, because somebody just sent me a video today. It was Cat's Mojo, right, on our Discord channel. She sent me a video today where a YouTuber was saying, look, the Gonzalez's haven't made a dime off this. If you think they're getting paid for their interviews, you're full of shit. They're doing this all for free because they just want the truth. And she just defended them like, you're all pieces of shit. You're all making money off of them, and they're doing all this for free. And I'm like, so you're saying that why they have a $500 million lawsuit against WSU? Yeah, like, anyways. And look, I'm not even trying to bust the nuts at the Gonzalez family for what they're doing. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just saying, don't come at me and tell me that I'm a piece of shit because I'm making money off of it when I'm sure they made more money off this than I have.
The basis of all of this goes down to one simple thing. Okay. This is why I believe that they dislike us so much, because we will not admit to Brian Koberger being the one that did this, or even being the one that did it alone. We'll say that because some people think he did do it, but he didn't do it alone. I'm in a completely different boat. Okay. I've said this today. One was there earlier. Yeah. I do not believe that Brian had anything to do with this at all. That's me.
I don't either.
I'm not stupid. Okay. I've only based that because I sat on the fence for 3 years. And all I said day after day, anytime I talked about it was just show me the proof that you have that told you that Brian Koberger did this. That's all I've asked for. And I said, if you can show me that, I promise you, I will shut the fuck up and go away about this.
Not only that, but yeah, Sean Marie, I want to, fuck, I got, holy shit, I'm on fire tonight. So first of all, not only Sean Marie first, let's start with that. Sean Marie first.
Yeah.
How can the families not see the holes in the prosecution? Here's the problem.
Right.
And please understand, I'm not trying to shame any of the families when I say this. But at the point that they filed a $500 million, $400 and something million lawsuit against WSU, that kind of money will cloud anyone's judgment. So at that point, when they filed a $500 million lawsuit, at this point, I don't know that they can honestly say they want the truth if it impacts their ability to get $500 million. Right.
And I don't
want to be a dick about it. It's just reality.
What I said, sorry, Lee, I didn't mean to cut you off. I said when this first happened, when it first hit, I said, oh my God, you guys, finally, they're doing something that's going to get, because I was thinking in my heart that they did this so that they could get discovery, to get some truth out of it. But then I noticed some things were happening on the backside of it that made me feel differently about it, because it led back to the money side to it. And that is where it was kind of disheartening for me. So I just wanted to say that.
And I have a slightly different opinion, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but they are profiting. They are.
They have been.
They have. They already have.
They're also
Where's the
content
GoFundMe
creators
money?
now.
They
Yeah.
right. No, that's just it. They are content
Yes.
creators now. They're going on every public
Right.
stage. And look, God
Yeah.
damn it. I
They're
don't
going
know
to
how to say this
CrimeCon.
enough. I'm not faulting them for what they're doing. I'm just saying quit shitting on me and people
Right.
who are trying to get to the truth because we don't buy
Right.
the bullshit story and shitting
Because-
on us while you're simultaneously becoming media celebrities. You're on every fucking TV show. You're on every documentary. You're taking center stage at CrimeCon, thousands of people at Vegas, and you're shaming me like I'm fucking making the profit off of this. I'm not making profit off of it.
You're
So
not.
stop the bullshit. Let's go to a private room. Let's go to a private room and talk this out like men and women, whatever the case may be. Let's talk it out.
I know
privately.
everyone wants to
It doesn't even
talk.
have to
I'll
be on
raise my
camera.
hand.
Yeah. Yes.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Go ahead.
No, I know everyone. Hey, this is everyone's empowered with this. I know we're all fired up, so I don't want to yell over anyone. What I'd say, just to answer that question specifically about how can they not see the holes in the prosecution? They can. They do see the holes in the prosecution.
They have
at the plea.
yeah.
At the plea, whether they saw it or not, it was thrown in their face. Bill Thompson said,
Right.
yeah, at the plea hearing, we cannot place BK. We cannot place Koberger at the house.
One, stop for just, I want you to continue your thought, but reminder, the Gonzalez family in 2023 filed notice that they reserved the right to sue Moscow Police Department. So they didn't believe the story.
Right.
They thought they did something wrong. So anyways, continue your thought.
Yeah. I just wanted to, we said, it came up earlier on Dago show, and it's just a point, even though it's brought up many, many times, you can't get away from it. This is the lead prosecutor on the case. It's a plea. You have the plea bargain, right? BK. Oh, okay. Yeah, I did it. I killed them. Oh, by the way, he wasn't stalking anyone. We have no proof he's stalking anyone. Oh, and just a little tad bit notice, we can't place him at the house. What do you mean you can't place him at the house?
I was
Are you
as floored
kidding
as
me?
you, dude. My jaw hit the ground in the fucking courtroom. I'm like, in the courtroom, I wanted to stand up and go, what the fuck you mean you can't place him at the house? Are you serious?
We had this conversation today earlier with when one was over there too. Same thing. It doesn't make any damn sense. And you know what? That reminds me, Steve himself, again, all due respect, in an interview with Brian Enton looked at him. He was sitting on the couch with Christy, and they said, Steve, I want to ask you, are you open to the possibility that somebody else besides Brian Koberger is involved in this? Absolutely. Or that other people were involved in this. He said, absolutely. And as he was saying absolutely, Christy said, no.
God dang it.
There's not
telling you,
agreement
I know-
within their marriage with this.
You're right.
Once again.
But one of the reasons that I am interested in finding the truth is I want to find the justice for those 4 young adults who were horrendously taken out of this life, but also for the future. And because God knows, unfortunately, this will happen again. And the problem is that if we can't find the truth in this case, how are we going to find the truth in other cases? So this does involve, whether they want to admit it or not, or anybody else does, this involves more. This is a social justice thing now, because we already have things being limited to how much we can see, how much we can hear. Well, this isn't finding justice for those 4 victims, and it's not helping find justice for other victims that are where investigations have been limited the same way.
I got 2 things I want to say.
Okay.
I got 2 things I want to say. One, I want to talk a little bit about Steve and Christy Gonzalez and their disagreements. I want to talk about that. And I also want to talk about an insider tip that came in about the feds, which I can't prove, but I want to share with you just as a food for thought. So, first of all, to Steve and Christy, it has been clear to me almost through the entire case that Steve and Christy are not on the same page.
Yes.
And I will give them kudos for this.
Yeah.
I will give them kudos for this. When it comes to the public stage, they rally, they hug each other, and they provide a unified front, even though those of us who pay attention can see they're not on the same page, but they do their best to support each other as if they are. So kudos to them for the marriage that they have. They have a strong marriage. They keep their shit off camera when they disagree as much as possible. But it's clear to the rest of us who pay attention, they're not on the same page. Steve Gonzalez, I believe, believes other people were involved in this, and his wife wants the simple answer. Brian Koberger was it. That's it. And she probably believes that. She probably believes that. But Steve doesn't. That's my opinion. But kudos to their marriage, that they stand by each other and they put on the unified front, and he shuts his mouth when she corrects him and says, hey, I don't think that. Like, I actually respect them for that in a weird way.
Same here.
I get it.
Yes, I do too. That's 100% fact. That's very hard to do in a situation like this.
Right.
Do you guys know how many marriages have broke up over things like this, folks?
That's right.
I mean, absolutely, it happens every day.
Yeah.
And they have made it through that. And you got to respect, whether you like them or not, you have to respect the strength that they have as a family to come through this the way they have. Truly and honestly, we don't know what goes on behind the scenes, and we don't need to. It's not our business. But what we see out here, fact. That is a fact, and I fully agree with you, Lee. It's amazing, but there's two statements that were made. One was made by each one of them at different times. And that the one I just mentioned is when Steve said, 100% I'm behind that. And one was made earlier on by Christy when she said that she fully believes that this was somebody that Kaylee knew that was in their circle. Those were her words. And she is not the only mother to say that. Okay.
Nope.
Kara Kernodle said the same thing more than once. That's not a coincidence, folks. Okay.
And here's the thing, like, we're being brutally honest, and I realize that this shit's going to blow back on me at CrimeCon when I bump into the Gonzalez's and whatever. But here's the thing.
All due respect.
All due respect. Right. I don't want to shame the families. I'm not about shaming the families. I really honestly want this. I feel, again, I can say it a million times, I feel like I want the same thing that they do, which is they want justice. Right. But at some point they may have made a decision. The best that we can do at this point is to go with the official narrative, sue the fuck out of them, get this big lawsuit, and call it the best that we can do. And so I'm not even 100% sure even that Christy believes that story, but it might be what she's going with because she thinks it's just in their best interest to stick with the official story and go with it and get their payday. And it's the best that they can come out with in this horrible situation. And in that regard, I can't necessarily falter. Like everybody wants to bust the Gonzalez's balls about things, but I can kind of understand where they're at. I kind of understand.
I do.
Maybe I can't.
But my one question to them would be, don't you want everyone, even the littlest part? I don't care if it's freaking Molly that just, don't you want every single person that had any little part in this to be held responsible?
Right.
To the fullest extent.
He said that. He said this needs to go to trial. The full and complete and total truth, these are his words, needs to come out to the world.
Yeah. And it was weird to me. It was weird when Steve Gonzalez said on the steps of the Idaho courthouse, again, I was there that day, but I wasn't outside with him when he did this. He said, first of all, Steve was livid that a plea deal had been made without the family's consent. He was like, he was pissed. And why? I've told you this a million times. I'm going to say it again. I believe Steve Gonzalez was told that it was multiple people and they were going to get them all and just trust them. They're going to start with Koberger and they're going to get the rest. And then when it became clear to him that they were going to go with the lone killer theory, he was like, you just fucked us. You're going to let other people walk because you went with the lone killer theory. And I think that was what bothered him. And then he changed slightly and said, well, if you're going to go this route, then you better make it clear Koberger did it and did it alone kind of thing, because he was pissed that they even did the plea deal in the first place. And I know that sounds convoluted, but in some part of my mind, I can understand his logic.
He also changed, and Dago, you brought it up a few times that after that, that whole thing with the Brad Thompson, right? That whole
Bill Thompson.
Yeah. That text thing that he had, and
Yeah. No. Oh no. You're
yeah.
and I was just getting ready to bring that up. Brad Norton.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean Brad
I
Norton. I'm
still
sorry.
think-
I meant
yeah,
Brad Norton. Yeah.
That's
I
okay.
will get back
think
to
that
Joanne's comment real quick. I will get back to Joanne's comment. You guys finish your thought, but I'll get back to Joanne's comment.
I just was going to say that 211. I still think it's a very grand possibility. We know that the defense was threatened. We know that the
Right.
Kobergers were threatened. Steve showed and proved there was some kind of a threat at them. I have to wonder, and he even said it in the text messages, that the Showalter family walked up his driveway and knocked on his door and basically said, you need to shut up or there's going to be consequences. The Mortensen family threatened him. You need to shut up or there's going to be consequences. And I think that's when things change channels.
Right.
I got so many thoughts tonight. What the hell? Did I just fucking take some kind of drugs? Because I got a million thoughts. All right.
I was
First of
going to
all,
ask you.
Oh God, I'm fired up tonight. So Joanne's comment: has anyone ever thought that maybe the Gonzalez family has been told to shut the fuck up?
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
absolutely.
yes.
Listen, Brent Turvey, the forensic specialist that was going to testify on behalf of the defense, flat out said on an interview, I think it was with the Sarge, he flat out said that he has seen cases where the prosecution and the law enforcement will tell the family, shut the fuck up. And if they don't shut up, they will actually start arresting you, start harassing you, start giving you speeding tickets, whatever it takes. They're like, look, we'll make your life hell if you don't shut the fuck up. And I do think that was told to the Gonzalez family.
I agree with that. And Stephen Hippler himself, this came from Steve's mouth, and it was in a document, okay? During a whatever you call that type of a hearing they were in, Hippler told him, Steve, I think you need to shut up. And Steve said, I don't think I can do that. And he goes, well, then this ain't
we
going
won't
to
have a trial. Right. Then we won't have a trial. Like,
that's a threat.
How the fuck does a judge say
They were
that?
never going to have a trial.
And do you think
they were never going to have a trial? They decided that from freaking day one.
They weren't going to have a trial. And then he looks at him and says, is it going to bring her back, Steve? What the fuck? Who are you to say that to a victim's family member as a judge?
Dago, you're wrong. It's 100% inappropriate in my opinion, it was 100% inappropriate for the judge to do that. To
1,000,000%. Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. And he's like, I don't think I can do that. Then we won't have a trial. Like, who the fuck are you to tell us we're not going to have a trial?
Thank you.
Like, are you kidding me? We won't have a trial.
Right. And guess what? We didn't have a trial, folks.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't tell me that didn't happen behind the scenes.
He didn't want to be there. Why would he want to sit through a trial when he didn't want to be there in the first place?
Don't tell me none of that went on behind the scenes. That was known.
Exactly.
This was never going to fucking go to trial. I knew that 3 years ago. Okay. I said it 3 years ago, and here we sit. Here we sit.
Yep.
And I will tell you this. I've only talked about it a few. Like, here we got like we got a really low audience tonight, and so good for you that showed up tonight. You showed up and you get to hear some shit tonight.
Thank you.
So one of the things that kind of drives me crazy is I can't get out of my head the rumors that were going around that Kaylee was seeing a police officer, the rumors that were going around that Kaylee may have been involved with Rosenthal, and the rumors that were going around that cop car that has had Tesdale, Rosenthal in the car, they separated and they're texting each other about where they're at. Like, they're not in the same car. Why the fuck aren't you in the same car? If Rosenthal went up and look where they were, God damn it. Like, I can't even get this out of my head. If Rosenthal and Tesdale were parked on Taylor Avenue with a straight direct look right into 1122 King Road residence, if Rosenthal got out of the car and walked up to 1122 King Road residence and met with Kaylee in the house, follow the logic. Follow the logic. If Jack DeCour found out about it, he just broke up with his ex. Everybody knows Jack DeCour had plans on winning his ex back. He was playing the nice guy routine. Hey, I'm just going to be here in your circle of friends thing. You know, eventually you're going to come to your senses and we're going to be back together again. He was hanging in the wings, hoping to get his ex back. If Jack found out that Tesdale or that Rosenthal had gone in and saw Kaylee that night, and then the murders happened, you can't tell me that all kinds of people in law enforcement would just give Jack a pass on potential, even like, look, if we question him too hard, Jack's going to be like, hey, I fucking know a police officer was in the house that night. Now, I'm not saying a police officer did the murders. What I'm saying is, them wanting to hide the fact that I'm not saying fact, I should say this word, them trying to hide the possibility that a police officer had been seeing Kaylee that night and that Jack knew about it and it freaked him out and he was pissed off about it. And if they push Jack too hard and they make him a suspect because maybe his ex-girlfriend got killed and maybe it was him, and they're like, look, if we push him too hard, he's going to be like, the fuck you're going to push me? You had a cop there that night banging my ex. And if he would have said that, they would have given him a huge pass and covered a lot of shit up. Do you follow my logic? Am I making any sense?
Yeah.
He would have covered a lot of shit up to hide the fact that an embarrassing thing for the department, that an officer was sleeping with a college student, and that would be a huge embarrassment.
Where did that come from? I've never heard that before.
But but I thought Jack and Bethany had gotten together.
It was a rumor.
Bethany was pregnant. Listen, I've heard this.
This was a rumor. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's new for me.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. I've heard that a lot.
It was a rumor. So basically, you didn't hear this, Dago? So I'll explain it. So what the thread is that I understand. I know Dylan drove an hour and a half or however long it is to go get Kaylee, right? But the thread is that Kaylee actually wanted to come back, not just to show her car. She wanted to come back because apparently she had heard rumors that Dylan or whoever else was spreading gossip and stuff that that Kaylee had hooked up with Adam from the corner club. You're muted, but it's okay. So
I gotcha.
Yeah, so it was the whole thing with that, and the rumor that went along with that was that I guess that like got to Jack, and he was all upset, and apparently because Adam is his roommate or whatever, or that he lives with, or again, this is a rumor. I'm not saying it's true that. He was so upset and so pissed off that this happened that he went and he got like all drunk one night with Bethany and he was fooling around and one thing led to another and he actually got her pregnant.
Yeah.
It's a rumor though. I'm not saying don't shoot me.
Could this lead back to the Maddie, what did you say to Adam thing?
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Babe?
So the rumor was that. So the rumor, and it's a rumor. So let me say it a million times. It's a rumor.
Right.
Rumor has it. Oh my God, fucking Adele is badass.
Anyways, so the rumor has it that Jack was distraught that night.
Yes.
Because of the whole pregnancy thing. He thought, I just fucked up my entire life. I slept with Bethany out of kind of revenge fuck kind of thing, got her pregnant, and now my life's falling apart. I've ruined everything. And he was distraught over the pregnancy thing. That was supposedly what happened that night.
Put him in depression too.
Right. Put him in depression because he was like, he had hopes of getting back with Kaylee.
Right. Exactly.
But he had fucked it up. He did a revenge sleep with her friend kind of thing or whatever, and then got a girl pregnant. And then he's like, I just fucked up my whole life and my whole plan. That was a rumor.
Then,
a rumor.
Right.
I'm not saying I even buy it, but it's a rumor.
Right. And then somehow
a rumor?
some of that, and then just real quick, and then somehow some of that apparently, I guess, got back to Kaylee, and that was one of the things she wanted to clear up before she left for Texas. She not only wasn't just to show her car to Maddie, it was also she wanted to clear up some of the rumors and stuff.
So was the rumor started there or out here?
The rumor didn't start until after the murders when people were starting to talk about what possibly led to it. And then that's when and in fact, it was like a good 2 years into the investigation before somebody that I heard for the first time talk about pregnancy.
Because
it could be out of the blue.
I just wondered, okay, so if it didn't start out here, then it wouldn't have any bearing on. I followed and analyzed the Corner Club video quite a bit, and other people have, and they're pointing out certain points in it where it seems to be that Maddie is really kind of going off on Jack in that point in that video, but it's hard to tell for sure. And it just made me wonder what the conversation was that was going on. You know what I mean?
So who was the guy that came out of nowhere? It's a channel who's the YouTuber came out of nowhere, something forensics that has the Sherlock program. That
Oh
popped
yeah,
up
yeah,
on,
yeah. I know who you're talking about.
True
Criminal
crime forensics?
True crime forensics. That's
True
it.
crime
It's true
forensics.
crime.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm not trying to bust any YouTubers' balls. So True Crime Forensics supposedly cleaned up some audio of that whole "what did you tell Adam" thing, and what he cleaned up, he said, and I didn't hear it. I listened to his video and I heard I don't hear what you heard, but he said what Jack says is they're gonna get you for this, Maddie, and you're gonna die tonight.
Right.
That's what he said.
I didn't hear it either. Right.
He
No, I
argues,
didn't hear
why
it.
did they redact out that you're going to die tonight? He literally gave her a death threat. You're going to die tonight. Now, I didn't hear it, so that's I want to put that on the ether. I did not hear it, but
which it doesn't make sense because if you watch that video and you watch the grub truck video, he's just standing there. Like if you would have said that to somebody,
but
you'd have
Maddie.
been-
But Maddie does turn to him and say "fuck off" or something, or "fuck you" at some point, doesn't she? She turns to Showalter and says "fuck you" or something like that, or "fuck off."
That was at the grub truck. They were talking something
That
else
was at the grub
being
truck.
said. Yeah,
right. That's what I'm
something else
saying.
was being
At the
said,
grub
and that's
truck,
when
she
says
said,
it.
right. Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
That seems a bit much. I never could tell exactly what Showalter says to them. I don't think anybody can. Most people think they hear one thing or hear this or hear that, but I can't clearly hear any of it. I've tried.
That's what. So that's what drives me nuts. Again, no disrespect to is it True Crime Forensics? We said no disrespect
Anybody,
to him,
right?
But he cleans up the audio and he plays it and he says, "There you go, you heard it plain as day." And I'm like, I didn't hear it plain as day. Even when you primed me, telling me what I'm going to hear, I still don't hear it plain as day.
Yeah,
Right.
I couldn't hear it either.
I'm the same way with a lot of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Right,
but
you
could
can't
it
hear
be-
it. It could be
I-
many things, guys.
But is it,
And-
I'll
be right back.
Again, it's all the rumor stuff, but could that be why, Bethany was so protected and like disappeared, that
And here's the thing. This is the thing. At the end of the day, why are we pieces of shit for doing what we're doing? Which is like, hey,
Yes.
I don't think I agree with him that's what Showalter said. I can't hear it myself. Like we're being fair with the data. We're not being assholes. We're like,
Right.
we're not jumping on every crazy conspiracy theory. We're like, look,
No.
I don't hear that. Like, and yet we're being shamed for talking about the case like we're some kind of assholes, but we're trying to do the same thing I feel like the family should be doing, which is to find out what really happened.
Well, right. And so when these questions arise, and because we're not getting any real information, because let's remember, they can't place Brian Koberger at the house any which way, shape, or form. And there is no twice on Sundays because there's no freaking DNA. There's no blood of Koberger's. There's no sweat. There's no piss. There's no nothing from him. So you cannot place the man at the house. Not even his phone can be placed at the fucking house.
Don't forget.
Yes,
Don't forget he levitated too.
I'm going to ask those questions because you haven't proven dick to me about any of it. You haven't.
Don't forget he levitated also.
Yeah, he had to use a zip line or something to get through that.
Oh yeah, the Mission Impossible stuff.
Anyways, I loved Just a Devil Woman's comment about you busted my balls last night. I don't even have balls. It is what it is. Look, it is what it is. I feel like it's a shame. It's a shame to me that our channel and our panel is getting lumped into every other YouTuber who's out there saying wild ass crazy shit. Because I don't feel like we do.
Yeah.
I don't feel like we talk about wild ass crazy
No.
shit.
No.
We might talk about something, but we'll shoot it down. We're like, that doesn't make sense. Why are we getting lumped in with all the other crazy off the wall shit conspiracies? I mean, we don't do that on this channel. I don't get it.
No.
We don't want to
try
be a part
back-
of conspiracies.
Yeah.
We want to
back
be
it
a
with
part
the
of truth and
receipts.
justice.
Yeah.
Right.
You back it with
So-
the receipts, and we go by,
Right.
we kind of, which I know is something that, I hear all the time. Pav brings up, you have to go by the documents and the evidence that they give us. And we do, and that's what we do. We just, we go by the evidence they give us. But
Speaking
at the
of-
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Pav and everything like that, I've been kind of keeping up on a little bit of what he's talking about and kind of thing like that. But where do you think he's at on that? Like he mentions from time to time Kopaka, he mentions Malwich still. I'm still trying to figure out where Pav sits on the whole thing. Like, do you have a clearer idea than I do where Pav sits on the whole thing at this point?
He thinks Mowich is involved. His big thing when he's still down, and if he's wrong on something, he'll say, "Oh, I was wrong on this" or whatever. He does do that, so I'll give him credit.
Yeah.
For that. His big thing,
like yes, yeah,
right. So his big thing again. We're not. This isn't saying this is what we believe, okay? But what he's basically saying, he believes that there is something much more involved with the DoorDash. He really believes that Molly was involved in dropping people off.
Yeah,
whether it was whether it was Braun or Mowich or whatever, Mo, Larry, Curly, whoever the hell you want to throw in the damn car.
Yeah.
She was, because it's weird, and even with
I think she may have delivered to somebody. Yeah.
Yeah, even with the evidence that we have from the document, the DoorDash didn't come from Xana's phone. So what the hell?
I want to make an appeal to. I want to make appeal to our. I realize probably the people who watch my channel probably don't watch. How do I say? Okay, the people who watch my channel probably aren't huge Pav fans because we separate a little bit. But I have to say this. This is my appeal to you. If you're in this audience right now, and you have an inside ear to Pavarotti, please let him know. I really, really, really respect his research, and I would love to have him on the show so I can talk to him. For some reason, he's only acknowledged me peripherally by saying he knows my name, and he even said he's even said publicly, I like Devil's Advocates, but I can't get him to acknowledge me personally. So I would love to talk to Pav. I respect Pav's research. I have sometimes, I admit it, I have problems with his followers because his followers are an ass to me because they all tell me I should shut my YouTube channel down because Pav solved it all, and I get tired of that. But Pav himself, Pavarotti, if Jay Embry, if you're out there, would love to have an opportunity to talk to you. I respect your work. I hope that somebody gives you this message, and I hope you'll listen to it because I know, look, I never had hopes of talking to Pav until he started going on Lana's show and Birdie's show. And I'm like, well, he's talking to other creators, so can I get him to talk to me? I really, really, really like to talk to Pav.
I'm working on it right now myself.
I know some people
branch out. You know,
I know some people don't agree with everything that he says, and that's fine. But I just emphasize to you guys, Pav was one of the main people who really, really emphasized the fog lights. He did a lot of work bringing that out on the fog lights. And then I saw the video. I saw one video with the fog lights, and I was like, wow, this is freaking amazing. And I brought it right. I brought it right to Lee, and Lee put a FOIA out, and we're not taking credit. Oh, we discovered it. We never said that. I gave Pav credit immediately. Let's cover that. Let's cover that real quick. I was just gonna say the same thing. You saw him talk about the fog lights. You convinced me he was so good at what he just discovered that we had to put in a public records request. We filed the public records request because I was convinced of it. And look, the FBI came back and said, we acknowledge that we have the information you're asking for, but we won't give it to you because of one of the possible reasons listed below. They admitted they do have the answers we asked for. So we respect Pavarotti. Pavarotti convinced us all that the fog lights was an issue. And so again, I've said it enough, but I'm going to say it one more time because I'm fucking an idiot. So I have no problems with Pavarotti. What I have problems with is his followers who treat me like shit. But Pavarotti, I got no problems with. So I hope that we get a chance to talk to Pav. I respect his research. I don't always agree with his opinions, and he knows that. But that shouldn't keep him from talking to people who disagree with them. So I hope that somebody can finally get through to him because I'm really, really wanting to talk to Pav. I think it would be a great and fruitful conversation.
We're working on getting him to join us as well,
and although,
I hope you get him
to be able to talk to him for the same exact reason. He actually acknowledged myself and Kim the other day, and I guess he acknowledged me again today. I was told, I love how he researches things and the work he puts in, and I have absolute respect for that as well. he's just very
100%.
hard to get a hold of. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And
Yeah.
he's very private, and I
And
do
I'll tell
respect
you,
that.
I'll tell you another thing he's very good with, and that's why he convinced me with the Tisdale and Rosie, and Lee knows I've gone down that thread a million times. He's
I
very good at analyzing. You know, when you look at the 1119 camera, and
Yeah.
you can look at and you see the certain headlights in the window, you can tell when a certain car, like where it is on the street and whatever, whether it stopped, whether it turned or whatnot.
Yeah.
He's very good at analyzing that, and it's from him. He never said I don't remember ever hearing on his channel. He never once said, "Oh, I think Rosenthal was one of the killers," or whatever.
No.
All he said
No.
was that he believes, for whatever the reason is, whether it's a CI reason, whether it's a relationship reason, whatever the reason is, he believes, and he showed enough to me, and I believe it as well, that Rosenthal did go to that house, did go to 1122.
Yeah, and I want to be clear about
I
this.
think
Go ahead, Robin.
I was just going to say I would agree with that, and I'll tell you, when you watch the interaction that he had with Kaylee when they went to the house on that one noise complaint,
Yes,
there is a certain kind of chemistry that the two of them have, and if you are attuned to that kind of thing, it was more than just a casual type of vibe. So whether they knew each other on a romantic level, whether they knew each other possibly as a professional type thing, or both, there is something, if you watch that interaction closely. And one of the things that cracked me up was it was almost a girlfriend type vibe when he's like, "Do you know why we're here?" And she's like, "Well, I assume noise." Like she was like annoyed, like, "Yeah, like I know why you're here." You know, so if you watch that interaction closely, that right there says to me that they have some type of other knowledge about each other
yeah,
than just showing up on a noise complaint.
I agree, and I want to make this clear in case it hasn't. Like, there is a possibility that law enforcement could have been involved in it, but I don't, as far as like the murders themselves, but I don't think that's the case. What I think the case is that an officer was there when he shouldn't have been there.
Yes.
And that's an embarrassment to the department.
Yes.
So when a murder happened, they tried to cover up that any cop was there because they don't want to explain why he was there. It doesn't mean he was involved in the murders, but it would still be an embarrassment and a hard to explain thing for the department to explain why a cop is going to visit a college girl at 3 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock in the morning. Like, that's a problem. Right. So again, no part of me really feels that. I'm not trying to say somebody in the Pullman, Moscow Police Department committed the murders, but I think that it would be plausible to assume that an officer might have done something that was an embarrassment to the department, and they would cover up that officer's involvement. That would be an embarrassment, and that would lead them to being incentivized to cover up
absolutely
parts of the murder because it would reveal their cops' presence at the house.
To add to that, I think it's interesting too. I agree with that. To add to that, I think it's quite interesting too that he disappeared very shortly after this, and I still have yet to see a body cam because he shows up there that night, the night of the murders.
Yeah, he's there the next day too.
Right, where's his body cam at? We've seen everybody else's, but his. I want to see that one. Very curious.
And I bet you anything that it's his footprints are around that house, and they covered that up. I guarantee that was covered up, and now he's at the house the next day, so it's even easier to cover up. Like, oh yeah, he was supposed to be at the house.
Yeah.
Right.
And to this, to Microdot's point, I know he took a picture of her license, but I think that was some type of a cover. I know he didn't do it for the boys or whatever, but I just get a feeling as someone who has watched that share of things throughout the years and has a certain intuition, you just get a feeling, a vibe that they knew each other somehow other than just showing up on a noise complaint. Whether
Yeah.
even though he had been there before on noise complaints, there was a different type of vibe there that said to me that they were more familiar with one another. I'm not saying he was involved. I'm saying that potentially, like you said, Lee, it could have been a thing where you know, there is a level of embarrassment there if he had been there that night at all. You know,
I
so
think that's just
but
it. I
there's
think it
just
was an
something
embarrassment to
there.
the department. I think it was an embarrassment to the
Sure.
I've
department.
tried.
They didn't
Yeah.
want to have
Right.
to admit it.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I've brought it up before, but just to say it one more time, as I know, sometimes you have new people in here. I know some people are trying to make a big deal out of the fact that he took a picture of her license, and they're
That's
like, "Oh, well,
normal.
how come they didn't? How come I saw in the chat someone said, well, he didn't take a picture of any other." Well, Kaylee was the one representing the house. She was the one
Right.
that
Yeah.
lived
Right.
there.
That's
So
the
why
normal
they
thing.
wouldn't need? She's the one responsible. I
Real
could
quick,
tell you.
real,
Yeah,
Go
real.
ahead, go
Yeah,
ahead, go ahead.
real
I
quick,
just
yeah.
want to say thank you, Miss Bianca, beautiful Miss Bianca Jane. Thank you so much for donating 5 new memberships for the cafe. And it looks like Measy Mam D, Cooks a Lot 12, Cheryl Datillo, Lay Michelle. All of you guys, welcome to the sauce. And again, thank you, Bianca. That's so very sweet and generous of you, dear. We really
Yeah.
appreciate
And
you.
real
God
quick
bless.
before you get back, I'm gonna step off camera for just a moment, but real quick before you get back, we're about 48 people short. If we get another 48 people short, I'll dump a bunch of free memberships on people as well. But I don't know how you guys can do it. I don't know if you guys can do it because you're here. What are you going to do? But if for some reason we can get the viewership up another 48 or so people, I'll dump some free memberships as well. I'm going to step off camera for just a second, but I'll be listening to the panel. I'll be right back.
Okay.
So
We'll be
just
here.
to finish up my comment there, that's normal practice. I could tell you all the time, officers take pictures, and I don't know, like, what is it that you think is that it's odd? Is it because, what, now he has a picture of her license? When we run your name in a database, we get all the info on you. We get everything. So
It was just easier for him to take a picture than to have to
Right.
write it all down. That way he could put in his
Exactly.
report later, period.
So I'm just telling you from my perspective, officers I work with, I mean, I know this is a little different. It's Moscow, Idaho, and New York City. We actually have a department issued cell phone, and officers do it all the time. So because now they have the info on their phone, and they just, so you don't have to
Right.
you don't have to write it down. They have a picture of it,
Right.
like
Yeah,
think
it's
about it.
quicker.
Think
Sure.
about like I'm pulling you over for whatever reason, and and it's pouring rain outside. Am I going to stand outside in the rain and write down everything? I just take a quick picture of your license, and I can go
Right.
back to the car. But what I
Yeah.
will say, it's a little different. It is a little different on the car stop because you don't know if you haven't done a warrant check yet. So what I would say that's different, usually in a car stop, obviously this was not a car stop, it was a house, like a noise complaint from a house. From a
Mhm.
car stop, you usually do take someone's license, and for the reason is
Right.
you don't know if they're wanted or not. So if you take off and drive away, well, now I have your license. So
Right. And you can track them down. Yeah. So,
yes.
Bianca Jane, oh, thank you so much. She gifted us 5 memberships as well.
Holy
Thank you
crap.
so much. So it looks like
Bianca's
we have
on fire.
Capricorn Carey, Brandon Rudder, and a couple other people. Well, anyway, welcome to the
Well,
membership.
anyways.
It went away. It went away too quickly.
Hey,
But
real
thank
quick
you so
too,
much,
by the
Bianca
way,
Jane. We appreciate it.
real quick, there's a ton. How do I do this? There's a lot of member only content out there. I don't want you to feel like if you're not paying for membership that you're missing out, because you're not missing out. It's just
No.
bonus material. But there's a lot like bonus material, like reading Whitney Webb's blackmail. What was this? What's the title of that?
One Nation Under Blackmail.
One Nation Under Blackmail. Like it's just bonus material. But there's lots lots of content. So it is worth the
Right.
freaking $3 for a membership. So thank you for signing up. And if you are a member, especially we've had a lot of new members in the last month. If you're a new member and there's something else you would like to see, please let me know what it is you would like to see for your membership. Because
Right.
I want to provide, there's some things that I feel comfortable talking about on the public side. And then there's other personal thoughts that I want to hold for members only. So I do
Right.
reserve some of my thoughts. Believe it or not, I'm not just diarrhea of the mouth. I actually reserve some of my thoughts for members only. So anyways.
Real quick, I just wanted to I just decided to give back 5 more myself. And it looks like Amy NJ, Christy Craig, Whitey Nandy Nerdy, something like that. Nana Finn, and truly amazing. Congrats and welcome to the sauce. And thank you all for being part of our family. We do appreciate and love you very much.
I want to shift us away for the last little bit of the show to a super controversial topic.
Uh-oh.
Are you ready for this?
Ready.
Here's why it's controversial. I don't want to be political, and I don't want to get into people's religious beliefs. We're a true crime channel, but sometimes those things overlap. So I do this with caution. But U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi was fired by Donald Trump, and it kind of connects to 2 of our cases, that of Tyler Robinson, the alleged shooter of Charlie Kirk, because some say Pam Bondi was fired because Trump didn't like the way she handled the Epstein files, and I told you from the very beginning, I believe that Charlie Kirk was assassinated in part because of his stance on the Epstein files and his pushing for the Epstein files to be released, and he was killed. And now the Attorney General is fired for allowing certain parts of the Epstein files to be released. So it's the elephant in the room. This is not a I hate Donald Trump thing. This is not please, for God's sake, don't make this political. It's a true crime thing, but there's no way to ignore that Pam Bondi being fired. And look, I've got an article I could show you on camera of all the times they mentioned Pam Bondi being fired because of her handling of the Jeffrey Epstein files. So if you need receipts, I'll show you that I'm not the only one who says that a major portion was her handling of the Epstein files. The other case it touches is that of Luigi Mangione. Why?
Right.
Because Pam Bondi, in my opinion, violated local rule 23.1, I think it was in New York, that talked about public officials who are in law enforcement, like the U.S. Attorney General, can't go and say things like, he's a murderer who killed somebody in cold blood and needs to be put to death. You can't fucking say that. That's against the rule. And a judge even ruled, Pam Bondi, you violated rule 20, I think it was 23.1, said that. And so there was a huge stink about the way that Pam Bondi handled the Luigi Mangione situation, telling everyone, look, Donald Trump has told me I must be hard on crime. Therefore, we're going to execute Luigi Mangione because his cold-blooded murder of a person. And having the Attorney General of the United States go on public TV and tell people that he's a cold-blooded murderer before he's even had his first day in trial, when he should have the presumption of innocence to be proven guilty, is a fucking problem. So yes. I just wanted to talk as a panel, if we can do so in a non-political way, and I don't know if it's possible. Can we talk about what you think the ramifications might be, if any, of Pam Bondi being fired in the true crime stories of Tyler Robinson and Luigi Mangione? Do you have any thoughts whatsoever on that? You're like,
well,
ask
lady first.
I mean, she definitely overstepped her bounds, you know.
Yeah,
I agree.
I mean,
especially with Luigi.
Yeah, with Luigi for sure.
I mean, the Luigi thing from the beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, she's the one really that branded him a murderer.
Right.
If anybody has ever been a murderer, essentially, is what she said.
If there's ever a case
Luigi.
for capital punishment, this is the one. Yeah.
I couldn't think of how she worded it, but I knew that was the basic gist of it. Right. So that is not something that I believe any lawyer should do.
No,
because she didn't even have all the facts at that point.
No, she literally said, because Trump empowered me to be hard on crime. Yeah.
And say she already knew all the facts because it was all set up ahead of time. Because that's what JJ would say. JJ was
right.
But no,
Yeah.
I think that she overstepped, like you said, 1-1, and I feel that it went a long way towards negatively impacting him in a way. I mean, Luigi has tons of public support, as we know, but
Right.
how the people that worked under her basically just followed along, I think, with what her messaging was.
Well, I'll make clear my stance. So there's two cases we're talking about, Luigi Mangione and the Tyler Robinson case. In Luigi Mangione's case, I personally think it's going to be minimal impact. The biggest thing that's going to happen is if it ever gets concluded by a court that Pam Bondi overstepped her bounds as the U.S. Attorney General for stating that a person was guilty already before they even had their first day in trial. If that ever gets concluded, it'll be solved with she's already been fired, so who cares? Like, she's been fired, right? So it'll be we don't have to do anything about it because she's been fired. So that will suck because there'll be no ramifications. She's already been fired. And again, Trump's not even passing as she's been fired. He's trying to act like, hey, she's decided to move on to greater things. Everybody knows she got fucking fired. But the point being is that they'll just pass it on like, oh, if she did do something wrong, who cares? She's no longer the Attorney General, so who cares? We took care of the problem. She's not there. So that takes care of that one.
Just bigger like they do with everything else.
Yeah, just like they do with everything else. The bigger issue is the Jeffrey Epstein thing. I honestly think Pam Bondi was more fired because she didn't handle the Jeffrey Epstein thing properly. The Jeffrey Epstein thing is still a conversation point. I think Jeffrey Epstein's situation, I personally still believe there's a 75% chance or better that the reason why Charlie Kirk was assassinated was because of his push on Jeffrey Epstein. Now, it could be other things, his stance on Iran, for example, and Israel, for example, for sure. Mm-hmm. But I think the Jeffrey Epstein thing was the primary motivation. As JJ would say from Stay the Deep, when someone of his caliber gets assassinated, it's usually more than one thing.
Yeah.
So I think all those things played into it.
Yeah.
I think all of those things played into it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a little too political for this show. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, no, I think it intersects. There are times when the two things do intersect, and so we have to look at it from the framework of how it will affect these cases. We don't want to get into left versus right, red or blue, or any of that. We're trying to figure out how this could potentially affect, Tyler Robinson moving forward. How are they going to handle his case now? Whoever steps into that role, are they going to pressure whoever into just out and out convicting? I mean, as we know, they do that from time to time, depending on what the agenda is. So it intersects.
I'm gonna take a moment to bust Just a Devil Woman's proverbial balls, which we know she doesn't have, once again, because I get it. Like you say, like I can't care about Epstein. I've watched too much on it. It's too big, therefore I can't care. And I'm not busting your balls. I'm just kidding about that. I just wanted to make a joke about that. But the point being is that I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of people don't land on this story for true crime is it's too big. It gets too political. It gets too big.
Yeah.
And they start to check out because right.
It's just it's weird. Sucks. It's like it's like this guy Epstein, like he how many things are going to come up in it's not even just like the United States. Or
they're trying to blame.
It's international.
They're trying to blame everything on the Epstein files now. Right. Everything.
But I'll try to sum up, and I don't want to make it super political. I'll try to sum up. The reason why it bothers me is I 100% believe Jeffrey Epstein was running a honeypot situation. Honeypot, I agree. His entire part was to try to get influential people in government and big business to come in and provide them with illegal opportunities to, say, young girls, and then blackmail them when they do so, and then get power to control our country. That's a problem. That's and it seems to be the problem that nobody wants to talk about because they just check out because it's too big, it's too deep. I don't want to get into that. But like when people like Epstein can control your entire fucking country because he's got blackmail on your president,
Right.
on your preachers, on your heads of CEOs of companies like Microsoft,
Yeah.
when he's got that kind of power, that's a problem. We should be addressing the elephant in the room. That's my
Yeah,
personal thing.
I can-
And I'll let it go if nobody wants to
Well,
go with me. But I
yeah.
feel like it's a big issue.
And I bring up
No,
even
I
someone
agree.
another person, which they said also had a lot of blackmail on people. It was Hugh Hefner. There's all
Yeah,
kinds
Hugh
of crazy
Hefner, right.
shit that he might not get the same clout as kind of like Epstein did, and maybe like they did things differently. That's like kind of there's a little conspiracy with that Hugh Hefner had his own kind of like blackmail kind of thing. And what I heard was that
Oh
he
yeah, I
kind of
wouldn't doubt that.
kind of kept a lot of people in check, and that once Hugh Hefner died, like it kind
Yeah.
of set things off. That's what I
Yeah,
know.
you don't think?
Yeah,
I mean,
could
again,
be.
not to go off the rails, but you don't think Hugh
Right, right.
Hefner, as being the king of Playboy pinup models, hasn't provided a couple of bombshell women for high influential people in politics as a favor? Like, hey, I can connect you with that hot chick, and like you don't think that happened? So of course Hefner probably
Sure it
had
did.
Yes.
influence over politics. But anyways,
Yeah. Sure it did. Yeah. I have no doubt that
Right.
happened. And
For
look
sure.
how, to your
agree.
point, one, look how that intersects
Yeah.
over to even Long Island serial killer case, John Ray. A few
Yes.
months ago, we
Yep.
talked to him about uh, international connections. So I mean, it definitely is an international thing. So
yeah. I don't know how to pronounce this username. Is it Tashali or Tashali? I don't
Yeah.
know.
Tashali?
But
Tasha Lee.
Tashali. So the Playboy Mansion was likely a honeypot as well. I think you're probably right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again,
I
the
do.
honeypot, the whole honeypot idea is you get people to cheat on their wife with some woman, or maybe it's an underage, whatever it is. When you get somebody at a high level in government or politics who leads with their dick, I'll be frankly, and
Yeah.
and goes for some quick, easy thing because they think they made friends with Epstein, and they made friends with Hugh Hefner, and they think they got a friend, and then he records it and says, boy, it'd be a shame if your wife found out about this, or everybody in your church community who supported your political campaign found out that you cheat on your wife. Boy, that would be a shame. That's how they own your
Yep.
ass, and that's how they
Yep.
control politics. So,
Yes.
it's-
I
Right.
think that Hugh Hefner was probably the first one, and Epstein picked up where Hefner was leaving off. That's just
Yeah.
picked up.
Could be.
I think
Could very
Hefner
well be.
started it. I think Hefner started it, and Epstein caught on to the idea and took off from there. That's always been my opinion on that, because it's the
Yeah.
same situation.
I'm partly with you on that, Dago. I'm partly with you, and the only reason I say it partly is because I think it even goes further back than that. I think that
I mean, it could.
I think the government got compromised a long time ago, and they learned from the Israelis
Yeah.
how powerful it was
Yep.
to blackmail people with sex. Because here's the thing, and people don't realize this: women can be enticed with sex as well, but using sex to entice somebody by providing them their ideal sex partner compromises
Right.
all the intelligence agencies use that kind of situation to entice somebody to
Yeah.
give up government secrets by getting some bombshell to sleep with some head of a state. Kind of
Sure.
thing. It's like the sex is like a super powerful thing.
Yeah.
So
I mean, if you
you
think about the
know?
parties that Hefner had there, okay, there was many,
Oh,
many
yeah.
parties. I've watched, Jesus, how many documentaries about different people, and the faces that I saw were very, very high-end actors and musicians and so on and so forth in the 70s at Playboy Mansion, and he didn't have these parties for fucking to have a party. There was
Right.
reasons
Right.
behind what he did.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
he was a
Right.
he was a businessman. Okay,
yes,
Right.
so
yes.
therefore, in turn, you have to think about Hugh Hefner. Yeah, he owned Playboy. He did this, he did that. But these parties, he was having these parties every other day with hundreds of people showing up. And like I said, these are high-end people in Hollywood and
Right.
high-end, like, government official people, so on and so forth. It's the same damn thing Epstein was
It
doing.
is. It
Okay.
is.
What's
Dago, and that, even though it's like, oh well, it's so obvious, but that was like the front, like, oh yeah, I have these
Yes.
beautiful women, and we have this magazine and whatever. Yeah,
I agree with that.
yeah, that's the innocent part of it. It's a magazine with you know, they'd have featured interviews, right, and stuff in
Right.
there, and you know, but that's the innocent part. The real part was what you guys are
Yes.
talking about, the
Yes.
parties and behind the scenes. Yep.
It's
Absolutely.
funny that you guys mentioned this, because I wouldn't do this on our public show, but reminder of members only content. I would really love to do an expose with people like JJ State of the Deep, and maybe you guys as well, to talk about the sex industry, particularly the Hugh Hefners, the Larry Flynn's
Yes,
from
please.
Hustler, how they've used their influence of providing beautiful women to people in politics to get control and blackmail over our country. I think that this is it's a
I
really
think that'd
interesting
be
topic.
fascinating.
Right.
Yeah, not one
Right.
necessarily
And
for
with
the
that-
main show, but for a bonus content. Yeah.
No,
with
for
that
our
kind
members
of
only. Yeah,
power.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And with
Yeah.
that kind of
Because
power,
if we did that on a regular, folks, don't misunderstand. There's a potential that you know, somebody would report us and blah blah blah, and
Yeah,
you know.
right,
Yeah,
But
right,
if we
right.
could talk about it, you know, on a members live, I think that'd be fantastic.
and
Yeah, I'm
being
really
able- and,
interested to do that. In
being,
fact, what I'm thinking, sorry, one, I don't mean to
that's
interrupt
okay.
you.
It's okay. No, I was just gonna
I-
say, just being
yeah.
able to hold that, to wield, you know, that kind of power, and to think like, oh, you know, they show you know, the videos and the pictures of, you know, Hugh Hefner is just when he got older, just, oh, he's just this older guy. He just wants to be around these beautiful women, which sure, he did want to be with the beautiful women, but I think there's a lot more to it than that.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, and I can go on and on about certain,
Yeah.
I'm not going to name them, certain presidents that are involved in the American Beauty pageant and having access to the, you know, beautiful women that win, you know, U.S., you know, Miss U.S. or whatever. So here's the thing. I'm gonna contemplate. I'll talk it over with my team. I'll talk to other people, but I'm contemplating putting together a maybe a once a month or whatever members only live, talking about some of those things that we wouldn't talk about on the main show, because it's a subject. It's a subject that's near and dear to my heart, but a little bit dicey for the public. So for those who want to participate, that might be something we do. I really would like to do that. I kind of have a passion to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in.
Good stuff.
You're the boss for that stuff over here. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd love to have you on the show if you have time for it. I know you're Dago. Look, I have to give you props, man. You run a big, you run a big channel. You stream constantly. Your family's busting your nuts saying, hey, you know what if we wanted our dad and our husband around? I get it. Like you're busy. And so, by the way, I just want to let people know, I want Dago to take a little time for his family. And so if Dago isn't here every night, please understand that he's a family man and he's fucking on all the time. And I don't know that he even knew what he bid off when he said, hey, I'll be on your show every night, because that's a big commitment. So we're trying to be respectful of the fact that he's got his own channel or whatever. But anyways, Dago, if you do have time and you want to join us for that kind of bonus thing, like you have time to work that in, I would love to have you.
I don't have a problem with that. I don't in it over here, of course, you know, if that's how you want to do that, I wouldn't mind joining you. I don't do the members only thing on my side for different reasons.
Sure.
But I have no qualms joining you for something like that. I always like putting my input in on things. So yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, if it happens, it happens. I would love it, but if it doesn't, I get it. What did Rhonda say? It never occurred to me that Playboy Mansion.
Yeah.
What was Rhonda saying? It never occurred to me that Playboy Mansion being the source of blackmail scheme, but it makes sense.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Wait till we get started.
Oh yeah.
That's
like Rhonda,
that's
you just gotta
something
look.
that's been going on since the 1800s and even further.
Yeah.
Some of
So the honeypot idea is not a modern invention.
No, it's been ongoing a while. For whatever reason, something happened when, I don't know, like, you know, what it is exactly, but the rumor was that, you know, Hugh Hefner, with whatever he had, you want to call it some kind of black book, blackmail, whatever it is, that once he died, it kind of like the power shifted a bit. He kind of kept a lot of people in check for
Very
whatever it
almost-
was.
And it
I
makes you
almost
wonder how many people were happy that Hef passed away. You got to wonder,
Yes.
you know.
Then
Yes.
then you get into the conspiracy people who wanted
There-
to shut up Hefner. Yeah.
There
Yeah.
were some things that came out after he passed away. If you guys remember, I think MTV may have had it. Somebody had a show. He had 3 girls that he had that were his regulars at the end of his life. I can't remember Kendra. I can't remember their names, but anyhow, some stories have come out since that about some of the things that were going on inside that mansion. Some of the people, the fact that they were kind of forced in some ways to be in that house, and the house hadn't been worked on. One of the big deals was is there was like black mold in the mansion and all sorts of wild shit going on in the scenes or behind the scenes. I mean, and some of the people that were talked about. It was real interesting that he even brought this up tonight because I just watched something about that not too long ago, and it makes you wonder how many people. First off, how protected he was, and he lasted. He lived a long time, considering.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
but I just started thinking.
Yeah,
when
he
I was
wasn't
watching
murdered. Yeah, he didn't have a
that-
suspicious death like
no.
Epstein,
But when he did pass, I was watching this show, and I looked at my wife and I said, I wonder how many people were happy when Hef passed away. Like, thank God I
Yeah.
can breathe again. But it makes you wonder if there was a relationship between him. I even told her this too. I wondered if there was a relationship between him and Epstein. If maybe if that's because
Yes.
Epstein was at. I saw Jeff Epstein at Hepper back in the documentary they showed. I think it was mid to or early to mid '80s. You can see Epstein at the Playboy Mansion parties.
Yeah.
Did it start there? You just wonder, you know.
Yeah.
Early training.
Yeah, and-
early
And
training.
and again, people don't know him as well because Hugh Hefner is the bigger name, and we're going to wrap up here
Right.
shortly as a panel.
Yeah.
But Larry Flynn from Hustler was probably Larry Flynn potentially
Yes.
a bigger character than Hugh Hefner, but people don't know him as well because Hustler didn't quite reach to the same level that
He was dirtier. That's all.
dirty.
he wasn't as classy as Hef was.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Look, anyways, I'm not going to go there. But the
Right.
point being is, yeah. I think Larry Flynn is also a very interesting character if you look at
Oh, yeah.
politics and stuff like that as well.
Mhm.
All right. On that note, we went off the rails as we usually do. I think it's a
It's all
great time
Robin's
to-
fault.
It's all Rob. Damn it, Robin! I don't know how it's her fault. But
Broad shoulders. I'll take the blame. I don't care.
let's wrap
Come
up
at
for
me,
the
bro.
evening. Come on. Let's go around the horn with Dago closing first, then 1-1, then Robin, and I'll close for the evening. And let's go around the horn. What do you got, Dago, for closing?
Thank you guys again for joining us tonight. I appreciate each and every one of you. This was an interesting conversation throughout the whole night. It was very, very high end and hot filtered, I think. And I enjoyed it. It was really very hot through the whole conversation all night. So, and which is good. I like it when it gets like that because it's interesting and we get to point out things that are important to us as well as you guys. And I think that's good. So, thank you again for being here. Again, 1-1 Robin and Leaf. Thank you again. I was going to thank myself for allowing me to be here. I appreciate that as always to have this conversation. Thank you to all of these moderators. Absolutely amazing as always. And I'll say it time and time again. We would not exist without any of you, and we appreciate you all so very much. Thank you to all of you that are here supporting us in every form or fashion. I want to thank you to and welcome you, Meatballs, for jumping in the sauce. Thank you again, Miss Bianca, for that. Very sweet and amazing. Anybody that supported our channel, whether it be PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo, never expected, folks, but always, always so very much appreciated. It helps keep me doing this day after day. And all of you are so amazing and so very loved and appreciated, guys. Thank you for all that you do in supporting us in every form or fashion. Please make sure that you do hit the like button. That's the best way to support us. And leave us a comment after the show. We do love that. YouTube loves it, and we do love to read them, and I try to answer as many as I can. Guys, I want to remind you all, too, not to forget this coming Saturday on my show, The Verdict Room Unfiltered, at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It'll be myself again, Miss Kim from Typically Unique, Logan with Bronx Tales, and my producer, Mike. with Last 24. We'll be having Jules True Crime Reactions as our guest. It's going to be a great show, and I would love to see you all there again, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't forget, folks, to love yourselves and love each other. And do me a favor, don't change a thing, because that's why you are the beautiful people. Have a great night.
Thank you very much, Dago, and I appreciate, as always, the dedication you show. And so, yeah, I love that very much. 1-1, what do you got for closing?
Awesome discussion. It's always great when we sidetrack a little bit, go off the rails. We try to bring some varying topics to you guys, and just have you guys think, and just open your eyes to some different points of view. Maybe some stuff you weren't aware of, or just never thought about. But many of these things, as Robin was discussing, she mentioned before, have been ongoing for years and years and years in our democracy, in our whatever politics, and all different things. This whole idea of the honeypot, and the blackmailing people with sex and videos and all kinds of stuff. It's makes you wonder how much of this has actually shaped history and changed decision making, like just from everything. Oh, you're not putting that, you better not sign that law, or I'm bringing it. Like, there's so much. It's just from the smallest little thing to big things. It's amazing. It really is mind-blowing when you just sit to think about how much of this has actually, because all they got to do is get you that one time, that one little stray.
Yep.
They get you. You go to the bar, you have a little one too many. You have this super, whatever, hot, amazing, whatever, female, or the opposite, some super attractive guy. All they got to do is get you that one time, and that short little video clip or a little photo, and then they got you by the balls now. So
even if you don't have balls, they got you
right. Even if you don't have balls, but just
I know you want to do a movie trivia tonight. I wanted to take a second before you get into that.
Sure.
To answer Janae's question, Janae 2022 or 22. When donating, is it best to use? So first of all, damn it, I can't say how thankful I am that you asked those kind of questions. It shows you really want to support the channel, and you want to do your best to support the channel. So thank you for even asking that kind of question.
Yeah.
Listen carefully to my political answer. Keep in mind, I'm sure PayPal doesn't like to have us tell you that there's a better way to pay than paying through PayPal. Understand what I'm saying? So yes, to be fair, PayPal takes a pretty hefty percentage. It's not ridiculous.
You mean YouTube? Wait,
sorry,
well,
YouTube. Not YouTube. Sorry, not PayPal. YouTube. YouTube takes a percentage, right? So pardon me. So the point being is that I'm not trying to tell you not to use YouTube as a platform to donate to the channel, but yes, there are other ways that give you a little bit better cut. So I appreciate the question. Things
very
like
much.
Those other ones, they do give us personally a better chance. I will, because I feel like it's my duty to say this real quick, and one hold on to your freaking movie trivia for just a second.
Okay.
I think it's important to say this. Keep in mind, my opinion, and maybe not every YouTuber feels the same way. YouTube is doing us a service that we can't get anywhere else, right? They've got a very complex algorithm that knows what it's doing, and it knows how to push people, and it knows how to get things out. I couldn't do what I do without PayPal's platform. So in that regard, God damn it. Why am I doing that tonight? YouTube. Why am I doing that tonight? Anyways. So,
I think you're reading what she has up there as you're talking.
Yes, that's what it is. Thank you. That's what I'm doing. I'm reading PayPal. God, get it off screen. So YouTube, YouTube is doing us a favor because they've got an incredible system. So in that regards, I don't mind letting them take a cut because they are doing something. But yes, there are ways that we can get a better cut. So anyways, that's enough of that. I hope I didn't confuse the piss out of everybody by saying PayPal a million times instead of YouTube. It is what it is. Probably YouTube loves the fact that I said PayPal instead of them. But anyways, what do we got for movie trivia tonight?
Okay. So real quick before I go to the movie trivia, and thanks. I know we were a little, I guess, lower in people joining tonight than some other nights, but thanks to all of you. We appreciate all of you. The chat, I see a great question, super engaging. Keep it up. We love that you come here, each and every night, and whether you come up on stage or you just want to ask questions in the chat, we do see your questions and we love the engagement and we appreciate all of you, especially thank you to all of our amazing mods, Rhonda, Amanda, all of Dago's people, and obviously thanks to the panel, of course, as always. Robin, you did a great job again on the monologue. Good stuff.
Thank you.
So here we go. This movie is in the 80s. I
got a chance.
You got a chance. You gotta beat Amanda though. Amanda's quick.
She is. Quit using ChatGPT, Amanda. God damn it. All right.
You ready?
Got chat covered.
Ray, can we try something? Yeah. Do you know how much 312 times 123 is? 38376. He's right. What? He's right. Yeah. Ray, how much is 434?
Rain Man. I was gonna say Rain Man. Damn it. Damn you, Robin. Damn it. I was gonna say Rain Man.
Robin, good job.
Damn it.
Kmart.
Do it.
Blue light special.
Kmart.
Yeah. Kmart.
Dang it, I feel so. I was gonna say Rain Man, but I was holding for a little bit more proof on it, and then Robin.
Great movie.
Math. The math.
Definitely.
Definitely the math. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Math. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. All right. Well, thank you for the trivia. Appreciate that very much. That was amazing. Damn it! I knew it was Rain Man. I should have gone with my gut. Damn it. All right, Robin, what do you got for closing?
Well, I have a little bit of a different close. There is a new Idaho 4 book out.
Yes.
And this one I actually have some hope for. I ordered it today. It's out on May 1st. And it's from Christopher Whitcomb. And I'll put the link to it in chat. Yep. And he is not claiming that he knows exactly what happened. He is saying that he has a lot of questions. He is exploring those questions along with all of his detailed research. So I am curious simply because of the fact that he did a bunch of research, and also he's not claiming to have answers, or claim, at least so far. I haven't read the book, of course, because it's not out yet. He doesn't seem like he's going to have invented conversations between people or anything like that. So I am curious to read that. And it's actually called Broken Plea. So
nice.
Pre-ordered.
Yep.
Yes, ma'am.
Yep. I put it in the chat, the link to chat. So at least right now, I'm kind of optimistic about this book. So I'm very curious to read this one. So I just wanted to put that out there for everyone if you're also interested in that. So I think this one might be pretty good. So
I agree.
And along that line, Robin, you and I are also kind of working on our own kind of book project. So I know that, I mean, we're a little ways off, but we're going to be one of those people, hopefully, that we will also put out a book that tells the counter story to the mainstream narrative bullshit. And so I hope that, so kudos on this guy for maybe, again, we don't know what he's going to say, but maybe questioning the official story. We also are working on that own thing that has our own stuff. I just wanted to kind of let you guys know. By the way, as a reminder, Substack is a a place for kind of written content. I'm going to be posting more stuff on Substack, including some of that pre-writing of the book that we're working on, kind of things. So if you're interested in that stuff,
I
check
just
out our
threw it.
Substack.
I threw it up.
Oh,
Lee.
thank you.
I
Wilmer.
threw it up just because you guys were talking about
There it is. I pre-ordered mine today.
Yeah, and I will pre-order this as well. I will read it. Members only. This is a perfect members only. This is the kind of thing I do. I've done lots of book series. I read the entire book, When the Night Comes Falling by Howard Bloom. I'm partway through several other books that we're going to continue on as we get interest in it and with that. But Broken Plea, another book that I will pick up and do for members only content.
I was going to say. I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you, Lee. Yeah, to do.
I'm on it.
Only on it. Yeah,
I'm on it.
Great,
That's what I was gonna do. I don't do the members only. I was gonna probably do it in Discord, but that's what my plan was too with this. So I'm kind of excited for it when it does drop.
Yeah, me as well. Me as well.
But I just wanted to thank Cat's Mojo. She's the one that brought that to my attention. So Cat's Mojo, thank you very much. She is always posting stuff and bringing stuff to our attention over on Discord and things. So we appreciate that so much. That's the thing. We just love the hell out of this community. I mean, we have so many people who help us on so many different levels. It would take all night to sit here and name you all, but I hope you know how much you guys are loved and appreciated, and we couldn't be more blessed than to have all of you in our corner. So thank you guys so very much, and I hope you have a wonderful evening.
Yes, thank you very much, and I appreciate that. As for myself, I will close by saying I try not to split my attention a million places, but I have, while we're talking, I ordered that book on pre-order. I've also ordered I purchased a book on Hugh Hefner's Playboy Mansion for the members only content. So if you're interested in member only content, please check that out. We've got lots of stuff. Again, it's not for everybody, but some people like to have every little detail they possibly can. I do talk about a lot of shit. I spew ideas at the top of my head, which my wife says, your mind must be a fucking crazy place to be in. Absolutely. My brain is a crazy place to be in. I do my best to tame that shit down for the show here, but my mind is nutbaggish on the other side, and that's what I show maybe sometimes on the members only content. So I hope you'll check that out sometime.
Cartoons. I told you that before. Cartoons.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, cartoons. Yeah. So thank you all for coming to another Crimes After Dark. We'll see you tomorrow night, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I don't know where it is in all the other time zones across the world. We do have an international audience. Thank you so much. Much love. Have a great evening. Take it easy.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.